Unequal Technologies is the owner of more than 65 worldwide patents and patents pending covering military-grade, battle-tested composites fortified with Kevlar, performing to the strictest standards to protect those that protect us in law enforcement and the armed forces. Unequal's coated Kevlar materials reduce blunt force trauma and vibratory impact shock so much, it was only a matter of time for the sports world to start playing it safe.
More! 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 Okay, crack the cinder block. Yeah!
We're going to drop bullets out. It's just very clean. It's just a good thing. So I'll sit on a Saturday and Sunday and watch all that unequal being used in the sport industry and know that I'm using the product and it's saving lives.
Hey! All right, yeah! You can't go hard enough to hurt me!
I took it full force. What was that, 90, 91 miles an hour? It's just stunned for a second, and that's it.
Seeing is believing.
I didn't feel it at all.
Just a quarter of an inch or less of protection.
It just tickles, and that's it.
That would put me down.
How about just an eighth of an inch of protection?
Wow. Could hardly feel it. You're so thin. I thought I killed him.
Harder! Harder!
That should have shattered my ribs.
Rob Vito, the founder and inventor of this material, was in the locker room being slammed with a nightstick.
Yo, I kind of feel weird though.
Well, we'll work up to it. Give me a hit. A little hard.
A little harder? All right, a little harder? All right.
Everybody stood around and watched, and then Rob said, "Is that all you got?"
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. And the next thing you know, they're going, "I want some."
Can I try this in my helmet too?
Unequal's been really great for me. It's really top of the line padding. It's the best padding you're gonna get out there. I took a pretty bad fall where I actually fell 20 feet to my head, basically, and my helmet broke and had a pretty big, dent and crack in it, and my head was totally fine. I just took a few days off, and then I was back on snow.
Original technology used to have fixed pads. Now we develop what's called the gyro, and it slips in, just place and play, and it enables now to move inside the helmet. What this does, Brian, it enables the head and the brain to move in the same direction as opposed to with the helmet.
A leading accredited independent laboratory tested popular helmets for protection. This hockey helmet failed, but treated with unequal supplemental protection, it passed with as much as a 42% lower impact reading. This baseball helmet, as much as a 55% lower reading. This football helmet, as much as a 53% lower reading.
After seeing the scientific data and learning the experiences of players from the high school all the way up to the professional ranks, I would recommend CRT technology to anyone who's a high-risk player, anyone who wants to perhaps be proactive in their head injury protection.
Ryan Clark, who has sustained concussions in 2 of the last 3 games.
Well, Ryan Clark told me that larger helmet, he does not like the look of it. He called it ugly. But he's decided that substance is better than style in this case. He wants to be safe. It's also lined with this Kevlar that James Harrison also has.
And they go quickly on the snap, and that is right. Clark pointing to his helmet as he makes the tackle there on Rice, 2nd and 5.
Watch him come fill this inside out. A guy that's had 2 concussions in the last 3 weeks saying, Kevlar, got it. Don't worry about it.
What I'm most excited about is the do-rag that'll go on the head, and so the athletes can now wear this on their head and still have that unequal protection.
Normally, much of the impact energy associated with any kind of hit, fall, or collision goes through the plastic, foam, and vinyl of most helmets. But with unequal supplemental protection, much of that impact shock is absorbed, dissipated, and dispersed away from your head. So much so that athletes have said it gives them a competitive advantage.
If you've got a team that has this and a team that doesn't have this, the team that has it has a definite advantage over the team that doesn't.
I had no headaches. I haven't had any issues since I've started wearing it.
With unequal, you get hit and you don't feel anything. Nothing's there.
Almost like having Novocaine. You don't actually feel the pain, you just feel pressure.
Nothing. When you're feeling comfortable and well protected, you're going to play better. Your performance is certainly going to improve. Unequal is so good. I would surely love to have this on every player in the NHL and every player who plays in a contact sport.
Michelle.
Al, you've been talking about those big hits that Mike Vick has been taking. He took a big one to the rib, suffered a rib contusion second week of the preseason, and that kept him out of the rest of the preseason. So he turned to this Kevlar vest.
The actual vest that Michael Vick will be wearing.
Secret weapon underneath his jersey today.
You can see it's really fitted. He's wearing it tonight. He's been wearing it since the start of the regular season. It's got these thin Kevlar composite pads in them that really disperse the impact of a hit. Now, this was originally made for the military. The technology was only made declassified a couple of years ago. He says it's working great for him so far.
Leading brands were tested for impact protection. Many failed. Unequal exoskeleton outperformed them all. Here's why. Most sports pads use couch-like foam to protect. Exoskeleton uses military-grade composites fused with Kevlar to protect.
Of course, Tony Romo's ribs, they're going to be protected by a material like this. He will have this padding on to help with the pain management for that broken rib.
I think I'll be protected. You know, the guys, the equipment room guys have done a great job. We've been in there 3 or 4 times going through different stuff, and we did a good job, I think, not affecting the throwing motion as much and things of that nature.
According to the company's CEO, Robert Vito, if it can stop a bullet, it can stop a blitz.
To me, the Kevlar would be much more useful last week when he took the hit to prevent an injury.
While pitchers don't often get struck in the head by batted balls, when it happens fast. On a major league line drive, a pitcher might only have 1/3 of a second to react. MLB says it hasn't considered helmets or face masks for pitchers, but does see caps with a protective lining as a practical option from Unequal Technologies.
It fits in the hat nicely. This is good because it's nice and flexible, and from the outside you really couldn't tell that there's anything in there.
If padded caps are worn, about 40% of a pitcher's head would have some protection, with about 60% still exposed.
I would probably decide to wear it. You can never be too safe, especially with the guys, you know, the way guys hitting balls these days.
I think if something that's functional and it works is created, I'd be all for it. If it's a padded helmet, if it's something in a hat, whatever it is, if it helps a little bit, that's probably not a bad thing.
Speaking of keeping players healthy, our next guest on the phone, that's what he's all about. He is the founder and CEO of Unequal Technologies, which they make products that protect the human body. His name is Rob Vito. He's been on the show before. Rob, thanks for calling again. How are you today?
Good morning, guys. Thank you for having me on.
How is the relationship right now with Major League Baseball? Are you guys getting closer to a deal to find a cap that makes everyone happy?
Well, we're getting to the point where I can't discuss it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it has been very well received. Several of the teams have ordered about a dozen of the cap liners. It's amazing how it's taken over. We've also put our technology on the underside of the catcher's gear, on the inside of the shins.
So explain the technology here.
When you keep Kevlar in a flexible state, Harold, that's when it becomes its most powerful shock-absorbing element in the world. Remember, we have to stop a .44 Magnum in 1/4 of an inch. And how do we do that? With a soft, flexible, malleable that catches the bullet like a trampoline. Well, we're using the same effect. We're catching that baseball like a trampoline and bouncing it back out so that it mitigates the amount of impact going into the head.
Wow.
I had one pitcher say to me, I can tell it's in a hat. And I said, why don't you make yourself a fast $500? I put $500 on the table. I said, I'm going to put this into one of these hats. You come in and tell me who's wearing it. And he said, I don't take the bet.
Yeah, because you got to have some fashion sense to it. Because if it doesn't look good, you look like Gazoo or something. You ain't wearing it.
Yeah.
We're all about customized, concealed protection fortified with Kevlar. If you can tell that Mike Vick or Tony Romo or anybody's wearing our stuff, then we have not accomplished our mission. It's supposed to be concealed, transparent to the users. And so that's what it's all about. It slips very nicely inside the hat. And by the way, we've gotten love from American Airlines and golf courses. Everybody wants to now protect their players and protect their employees with this Unequal technology, which is a great thing.
Rob Vito, we really appreciate your mission, the founder and CEO of Unequal Technologies, trying to help baseball players stay safe.